Hello everyone, welcome to my second tutorial working with XAMPP. So today I am going to show you how to work with XAMPP application using multiple domains. By default, when you are installing the XAMPP application, you will be getting a default domain name that is localhost. So I'm going to add another domain name for our local setup, and then that will be pointing to a different location in our htdocs. So you can see our normal localhost application or the domain name is pointing to the dashboard. And in the next tab you can see I'm having another domain name which is called code wrapper. This is a dummy domain name which is not registered. This domain name is pointing to another location in our htdocs. So how are we going to do this? There are two files that you need to modify. One is you need to modify in your XAMPP application or in your XAMPP folder where you install the Apache. So inside the Apache you have a file called httpd-vhosts.conf. So that is the virtual hosting mapping done by this file. So we need to modify this file, and at the same time in your operating system there's a file which is maintaining the local domain names. So that is comes under host file, so that also we need to modify. So it is already saved inside the Windows System32 drivers and the etc. All these links I'm going to put it inside the detail section in the YouTube, so you can access from there. When you are going to open this host file, there's one special thing you need to remember. That is, this file is a admin credential file. So that means when you are going to modify this, you should have the admin credential. And at the same time, when you are opening this in a text editor like what I'm opening in the notepad, the notepad should have an administrative right to modify this host file. So how are we going to do that? So in your start menu, so you can search for the notepad and right click and ask to run it as an administrator. So when you do that, your notepad application will consider as running under administrative privilege. So once you do that, what you can do is you can open the file that you want to change this host information. So that is, I already linked to that location, system32 drivers etc. If you are not seen in this file, you need to modify this search option which is giving us all files. Then you will be able to open this host file. Once you do that, in your notepad you will be getting the host file information. So under that you can see I have done some setting changes. One is I am adding a localhost domain name, and at the same time I am adding the codewrapper.com. So don't worry about this one, this is already commented. You can see here in front of the IP address I have put a hashtag, so hashtag will consider as a commenting. So once you do that, you need to save this file. Then what you need to do is you need to open the vhost file which is available on the Apache folder. So you can open this another editor or even in the notepad, but I open this inside using the notepad++. So in the notepad++, once you open this file, you will be able to see another set of code which is directing to virtual host term. So here you can see I'm using the virtual host, and then I have given what's the port number, and there are some predefined values. So I'm not going to talk in detail about all these predefined values, but you need to make sure that these information are useful when you are going to running a virtual host. So first thing is you should have a server admin email address. So if there are any issues, it from the server, it will send the email to this email address. And then the document root, this is the most important part. So in the document root, what happens once this virtual host activate, it will pointing to our server folder. So the folder that you want to point out, that's the location you should provide here. So in this case, you can see I am pointing to a htdocs, and then your server name is given as localhost. So you need to make sure that the name that you provide in the server name and the host file name should be tally. And then if there any errors appear, so you can maintain an error log, and if there any custom log you want to added while the application running on, you can use this custom log file. On the second vhost, now you can see I am using the code wrapper domain, and in that case the document root pointing to a folder which is inside the htdocs, and the folder name is codewrapper.com. So if you move on to this location, XAMPP htdocs, you will able to see that I am having this folder called codewrapper.com. So once you done this changes to the vhost file, the next thing is you need to restart your Apache server. So you need to stop if it is running, or otherwise you want to start the Apache application. Once you do that, you will be able to maintain two separate domain address, and they are pointing to different folder location. So you can see here in the codewrapper.com, it's pointing to a location where it doesn't have any file. So what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to open this code wrapper, and then in my text in my notepad++, I'm going to create another file and save this in that location. So we'll go to this C drive, XAMPP htdocs. Inside the code wrapper, I'll use index.html. Then I can have a small HTML code, and then see I'm using the head and the body. So inside the body I'll put a h1 tag, and save this file. So if I go back to here and run this, now you can see my index file open in this location. So this is how you're going to maintain two multiple domains. So you can modify this further and further. What happens, you need to add multiple domain names into the host file, and at the same time you need to apply that into the vhost file. So that is it. So we'll meet on next tutorial with working with XAMPP application. Thank you.